Hello, what's up? My name is Emerose and I do a lot of stuff. If you're new here, I'm a writer and artist, and one of the things I really love is journaling. I actually just finished this journal recently. It has a sticker by a different artist. I'll put her name on the screen. I love to dress up my journals, and since I just finished one, I figured I needed to spruce up this new black one. It's pretty plain right now, and what I want to do is paint on these two front pages. I use these journals all the time. They're from Michaels, but I usually don't put any art in them. So this is going to be a new little experiment for me. I'm really excited to see how it goes. So all right, let's get started. If you've watched any of my videos before, you might know I usually film on my iPhone, but we got some crisp quality today. I'm using a different setup. I'm using a real professional camera, so that's fun and exciting. Hopefully it gives you a nice clear look at the art. We're gonna use some jelly gouache today from the Himi gouache set, which I use all the time. I love, particularly this first color I'm starting with is very well loved. It's a neon green. I know some people have mixed feelings about this gouache set. I personally find it really fun to use. It's a cool texture. You do have to really work to load up the brush if you want to get like an even application, but it's not going to be as smooth as professional grade, and that's kind of just something that I have accepted, and I kind of use it for a lot of really meditative painting. And I think you'll see with these blobs that I'm about to put down that this is a very meditative process for me. This is how I've been starting, I would say, a lot of paintings lately. So let's go into a bit of a time lapse. We're gonna fill this whole page with different shades of green. I kind of just let my mind chill out for a while and somewhat evenly space the blobs of each color, but I don't really worry too much about them drying perfectly. They start to get a little blendy here and there. It's all just going to be the background for our drawings later. It's been much easier for me to paint and draw than write lately, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this for my journal. I wanted to make something for myself that's really bright and fun when I open it up so I can look forward to writing and hear more. And then from journaling, hopefully it's just a hop, skip, and a jump into my fiction writing. That would be the goal, you know. So I'm putting down this third color of bright green here, and the white spaces are starting to fill up. I try to cover probably 98% of the white on the page. Sometimes I'm using this technique to make water, and I leave some white peeking through for ripples. Today with the green, not really water, but I'm just trying to create kind of a surreal, really bright background for some fairy-like illustrations that are coming soon. Once I've layered a good amount of all three of the different colors, I go back and kind of even out some of the ones that are still drying, and then I make even more. I do another round of all three colors. So fairy stuff. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about fae lately and what my version of a fae story would look like. We're not gonna have hot kidnapping princes in this one. Nothing against that. That's just not really the vibe of the projects I'm working on. We're not going the ACOTAR fae route. I'm trying to explore kind of a swampy, urban legend-esque kind of Midwestern fae type thing in the novel project that I'm working on. This year has just been so fun for me in terms of little adventures. I've gone out on to different Renaissance festivals, and I love seeing what kind of different fae costumes people come up with. The beautiful, elaborate fairies with all the different layers and accessories, but also ones that are just a little bit more unsettling. I myself have definitely gone in the Mushroom Girl direction before. I have also most recently been a little moth girl, which I found very funky, so that was a total blast. Just a really fun way to get out and get in touch with those fae vibes. So now that I have most of these pages covered, I'm just doing a little like quick cleanup of the edge of the book here with some water. Since it's just regular gouache, it reactivates, so it comes off of the like vinyl of the cover really easily. And now it's time to put the doodles in. I was really trying not to overthink this because I feel like I've been in an overthinking mode lately, so why not start with a little star? That seems just right. And I haven't used these pens in ages, so it took me a little bit to get them going, but I think they're just perfectly bold enough for the effect I'm going for here. My first real little fairy-like addition is this frog guy. Gotta draw a frog. I've drawn many a frogs in my time, and this one really set the tone, I think. I know it seems like I'm going in and covering up a ton of this beautiful background, but trust me, it's gonna be worth it. I think it is a beautiful effect with these bold lines on top of all of the abstract shapes. Really fun, something I love to play with. And we're putting a little pond in. I think the lily pads kind of go really well with the blobby green background. So I think that was like an obvious starting point for me here. I don't know if frogs and toads give like a really specific fairy tale vibe, but I do always think about Thumbelina. Isn't there like an evil toad king in that? That image really sticks with me. Alright, and then I started out some other little scenes I was kind of thinking of it as. So I'm putting the moon up in the other corner. Kind of a big, blocky, illustrative moon. And the more I watch this footage, the more I'm realizing that I completely block the pen with the angle of my hand and the grip I use. I just really hold the pen super tightly. But you can see most of it. Yeah. Let's look at this bottom left corner over here. We gotta have a mushroom. We've got to have that whimsy, and I give it a few little friends, of course. I am just not gonna get over the mushroom trend. I think it's so sweet and cute. I've actually been working on a couple of little mushroom characters for some comics. I've been saying that for years, but you know, there was very briefly like a little shot of the pixie I drew there, but there's going to be another pixie coming up too. First, we have to get to this kind of disaster frog. I almost despaired because I messed up some of the lines so badly. He ended up having like 3 arms almost. So I just filled it in. I'm going to figure out how to fix it. Trust me. I'm not going to say happy with the final result, although it does have a certain spooky essence to it, and I do think I saved it overall. It's not too bad. For now, it's just a silhouette. No eyes, no face. That's all. Haunting us with my mistakes. I did use a little bit of a different color every once in a while just for some texture. Now this part is fun. This is kind of another little feature that I wanted to link together some of the different scenes we have here. So I put in a clock tower because I feel like fairy tales often play with our sense of time, And I put different times on the clock faces as well, just as kind of like an allusion to that. And I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to draw straight enough lines to make this look good, but it turned out really fun. And then I made weird squigglies all over it, just so it looked a little visually distinct from the rest of the page. And I also think that the vertical lines help with that. See, like, doesn't that break up the page in a fun way? And then I started to have to push myself to think of more things to fill the space. I put another one of my lotus flowers in, and then the squiggles do start as space fillers. But crows, I think, are a fun symbol as well, so I wanted to put a few of those in. I also was beginning to see that with that big blocky frog silhouette, I wanted to have some more areas of black that were really filled in. This crow has a fun little mushroom mobile. So I wanted to try this project out for a couple reasons. One, because every time I open this, I want to kind of be in that mood of like weird, whimsical, fantastical things while I'm working on my current novel. That was kind of one thing on my mind. The other thing was I am really interested in starting to like scrapbook maybe a little bit. I don't know if that's the right word. Like a mixture between scrapbooking and art journaling. I think I just want to commemorate some more of the projects I do, the costumes I make with like sweet little Polaroids and different ephemera and little paintings and doodles like this. And I wanted to see how much I enjoyed it in the first place. Definitely think I experienced some of the ups and downs of this kind of thing. It's hard to get perfect. It's hard to, pick yourself up after a big mistake like what I did with that frog, which, by the way, as you can see, has a little bit of a face now. I do give it pupils eventually. This whole spread was very time consuming, but not necessarily in a bad way, like in a very absorbing way. I felt very focused on it. I felt like it was really a fun time. I was actually planning on also decorating the back spread of this journal in the same video, and then I realized that was gonna take me like another several hours and so maybe I'll do that another time, or like when I finish the journal perhaps. I do have some ideas for it already, so I think that I might do it soon because I'm a little excited. I'm kind of taking my creative energy as it comes lately. It hasn't necessarily been the most cooperative, especially on the writing front, as I keep saying, but I am in the process of outlining my book, doing a lot of character work, taking it slowly, bit by bit, and then when I have a whim like this, when I want to decorate a journal, I'm just trying to allow myself that space, and it's fun when I can film it in a really like new way with a newfangled camera setup and show it to you. We're nearing the end of me filling up these pages. I added a lot of clouds, a lot of flying things or weather elements and various shinies to the sky because I really wanted it to feel chock full. And I was also blending some of these little scenes into one another. And I'm really happy with all of the texture. I think it's so cute. As some of the final touches here, I used my green pen to add in even more texture on the leaves and foliage, a few other little places. I also thickened up a lot of the black lines in a way that I felt like just made the page like flow better, like your eyes could rest in certain areas and kind of pick out the right details, if that makes sense. I don't know, I was just like fussing with it for quite a while here. I sped this up a ton because there's a bunch of me just like staring at the page and thinking about it, but I got it into a place that I was really happy with in the end. And this is what it looks like. The full spread. I think it's really fun. I had a good time doing it. those greens of the background still show through, but I think the doodles are the real star of the show. I especially love this fairy over the mushroom. She looks like she's having a great time. And that is how it turned out. Now I still have one tiny little thing that I'm going to do for the cover that you'll see now. I picked up these 4 little keycaps from an art resale store that I love to go to. They had a whole bin of donated keyboard pieces. And I don't know how well you can see it because there's a lot of glare right now, but it spells out my initials, E-R-E, Emrose Errett, and then there's the Windows Start key, just for some symmetry. I switched it around a little bit and glued them down like so. And I just think this is some fun texture to have on the front. Then you flip it open and you hit that doodly page right away. Now there are tons and tons of blank pages in this journal for me to fill. And here's that back page I was telling you about that I might paint on later. Definitely let me know if you would be interested in that. Well, that's it for now. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you have some time to do something creative with your day. If you'd like to stick around, I'm at Emrose Errett here and on all other platforms. And that's it. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye!